good morning, evening, afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. I am your host, Skeptically Speaking.
And I am Sweet Pea from across the pond. Hey, everyone.
And you can find us on YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram, Threads, and now Substack. We're also on Rumble, but we don't make a big thing of that.
I still can't believe you made me join Rumble.
Well, it's called initiation. Initiation.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah, well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, do we have a show for you? I don't know if we're mentally prepared for this, but we're going to go through it anyway. Candace Owens. What can we say about Candace Owens? She gets bizarre. I kid you not. She gets more and more bizarre every single time. Every single time I come across her content. She just keeps giving and giving and giving. I couldn't think of a title, so we're just going to call it Batshit Candace getting sued. In case you're not familiar with uber right-wing, just nut job, I guess. Nut job that just will not stop. She just will not stop. One thing after another. If it's a scam, whether it's a grift, whether it's just absolutely not. I mean, before she used to be like a Ben Shapiro acolyte type character who was just anti-black and just contrarian. Anything that had anything to do with feminism or liberalism, she would go after it. But no, she is full-fledged batshit. I can't. She was so crazy. Ben Shapiro. She was too crazy for Ben Shapiro. Let's just put it that way. And she got fired from Ben Shapiro's network. I mean, when you've gone too far for Ben Shapiro, you are way too far, girl. You in danger, girl. Yes, you are. But yeah, it's like she wants to completely double down on this insane conspiracy theory that Brigitte Macron transitioned decades ago, and she thinks that she is actually a man. I mean, I don't know. And then when she gets called out on it and called to account when the Macrons actually start suing her, then she comes up with something else. She says, "Oh, don't worry. They're going to fake her death to prevent this getting to discovery, to prevent discovery." And I don't know that Candace Owens knows what discovery is in the legal world. I just don't. I just don't think she knows, based on how she's just talking. If you want more independent media in your life, please consider supporting the show. Support us on Cash App, Venmo, and Patreon. The links are in the description. We need all the help we can get, and we love coming into your ears, and we love giving you earworms. This is the show of earworms. Having said, she says she'll stake her entire professional reputation. First of all, you do not have a professional reputation. You just have a nut job reputation. And your reputation is shot at this point. Now, the bogus claim about the Macrons, Owens reacted to the lawsuit by saying that she'd been sued by the first ladyman of France. "I am fully prepared to take on this battle," she proclaimed on her podcast last week. "On behalf of the entire world, I will see you in court." Wow. On behalf of the entire world. Now, P, what does that signify to you?
that fascist right wing nut job is trying to speak on behalf of the world, and she needs to sit down and shut the fuck up because she does
It's
not speak for me. I'm pretty sure she doesn't speak for most of the world either. And the fact that she is being so derogative towards Brigitte by calling her a man, she's no better than Marjorie Taylor Greene, but that is a
oh
different
yeah.
story altogether.
I mean, she is approaching Marjorie Three Toes territory. I mean,
Yeah.
Jewish space lasers.
Yeah, she is approaching. I don't know if you've seen Tropic Thunder, but Candace Owens is approaching never go full Marjorie Taylor Greene territory.
Okay,
I
I get
wouldn't
the
be
reference. Yep,
surprised if
yep.
she has gone past that. I wouldn't be surprised if she's gone past that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Instead of the R slur, we'll just say Margie Three Toes, and we'll know you went full
Exactly.
Margie Three Toes. You never go full Margie
Exactly.
Three Toes.
Exactly. Exactly what I was thinking.
This and you know
It
and
is.
and
It's
the
not funny. I
narcissism,
understand.
the
I
narcissism
know.
of this broad. I mean, I on
Mhm.
behalf of the entire world, I accept your challenge and I'll see you in court. It's like, fortunately for everyone else, the entire world, nobody knows you, Candace. Nobody knows
Mhm.
you except in the US and in certain pockets of Europe. Russia, maybe. But
Unfortunately.
luckily, my God, the ego on this. I mean, she's completely lost the plot.
I know.
And the only way to stop her is to give her the Alex Jones treatment. Do you know what the Alex Jones treatment is?
Yeah, drag her through court.
Yes, and more specifically,
Take her for everything she's got.
yeah, the parents of
Make,
Sandy Hook dragged his ass in court and sued the
good.
ever loving fuck out of him until
They
basically
had
you've got
every
to,
right to.
yeah, oh yeah, and this is the only way they'll learn. They do not learn any other way. It's like you have to hit them
Nope.
where they hurt the most, their money. As soon as you start touching that, it's then they start crying. When Alex Jones got sued, oh my God, this guy, you know, you know, oh, and this is a quote from her. I always want to be, if I ever come to and I say I'm putting up a GoFundMe and I need the money, I want to make sure I really need the money, And right now, we're obviously looking and talking with lawyers. She said in response to a viewer's question, we do not really need the money at this moment. It's very early on. Oh, baby girl, you need the money now. The time to raise money for your legal fund is right now. I mean, you're better, listen, you're better off having it and not needing it as opposed to needing it and not having it. You in danger, girl. You best crowdfund that shit. Oh, better yet, go to Give Send Go, the GoFundMe for Nazis. They'll love you over there. Quote, but I know that the process is supposed to be the pain, that they want to drag this out, she asserted. I can't see them wanting to make it to Discovery. I just don't see that happening. Yeah. What do you think they're going to discover in Discovery?
They're going to discover that Brigitte Macron is really a woman and that Candace Owens is full of shit as usual. And I hope she gets the full force of the law. I hope she feels the full force of the law for what she's caused
Yeah.
Brigitte currently going through. It's
Yeah. We're going
disgusting
to get
beyond
to
words.
that, but this is not Bridget's first rodeo. She
Nope.
actually had to take people to court in her own country in France. By the way, if you are unaware of who Brigitte is, she's the wife of Mr. Macron. I can never remember his name. Anyway, he's the prime minister of France or the president. I think it's
Emmanuel
Emmanuel Macron,
Macron.
of course. The most memorable, easiest.
Macron? Yeah.
name to remember, and of
Manuel.
course I can't remember it. But it gets worse,
No, you're
folks.
fine.
She claims that Brigitte was first a 12-year-old boy who was raped by Macron and has now since transitioned. Yeah, this is what she has said. So not only has she slandered Brigitte, she has slandered both of them. So they're both going to drag her ass into court. So now we're talking about double trouble here. And we know Brigitte has already won once already. I mean, my goodness, all this is what's so ridiculous about this. All Candace had to do was go back to 2020 and 2021 and see that Brigitte had already faced these allegations and won a lawsuit. It's not like this is ancient history. She doesn't have to go way back. Just 4 short years. We got video
Yep.
of her absolute asinine claims. But Candace Owens says
But
they'll fake. Well, I don't want to bury the lead here, but
I just
basically
have like
they're gonna. Well, I mean, they're gonna fake kill her. That way, they don't have to go through discovery. It's like that, that's not how that is gonna work. I mean, if in order for this to go to trial, discovery doesn't discovery happen before trial? Does she think they're going to do this like right away as soon as they touch down in the US? They're gonna fake. I mean, oh my god! And then they're gonna replace her with a what? A doppelganger? It's actually not as crazy as I just described it. Candace Owens has doubled down on her baseless conspiracy theory that the wife of French President Emmanuel Macron was born a man, which prompted a defamation lawsuit against the far right provocateur, that's putting it nicely, over the demonstrably false claims she made throughout her transvestigation. That's the key word. Transvestigation. That's where all these nut jobs get together and pretend to investigate people who are actually trans. Basically, they attack biological women. I mean, women in every sense. And because they have what they perceive as masculine features, they go after them and attack them. Just like the boxer from, I can't think of her name. She actually won. She was in the Olympics. Um, she was all over the news. But anyway, I mean, she's pretty big for her size. I mean, for her gender, but she, I mean, when the right wing conspiracy nut jobs attacked her and called her, you know who exactly what I'm talking about. Her father nearly, I mean, he was tripping
yeah,
over himself, getting in front of a camera, saying, "No, here's her birth certificate, here's her passport, here's this, here's that, here's a
yeah,
picture of her," because it is illegal
yeah.
to be trans where she's from.
Trans, yeah. And that could have serious consequences that could get her killed by them spreading that. And I generally can't remember her name, but I do remember who you're talking about. Also as well, how does Candace Owens explain Bridget's three sort of biological children that she's given birth to? Yeah. Yeah. Why not go after her for something that she's actually done instead of making up? All right. Mm-hmm. I sent you something. Brigitte Macron's daughter speaking out about the scandal. Okay. Oh. Hang on a second. Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well. Yeah. It's so asininely stupid. It doesn't make sense. They've totally got that. They totally have got the wrong end of that. They should have just stuck. with the things. Hang on, I'm going to see if this actually goes into. All right. She did have an affair with her student. That's all I could find. Brigitte Macron. But at the end of the day, the student was legal. The student was 25. So, you know, yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, me neither. Okay. Okay. Yeah. No, but for the sake of our viewers, yes, we need to hear it in her own words.
So we were trending in France yesterday. Yeah, Candace Owens trending in France. Kind of a big deal. I love that. Why? For conducting basic research, for conducting a very basic investigation.
I think Candace's idea of a basic information is going on Rumble and then going, oh, yes, this is all I need for the investigation. I've got my information. I'm just going to run with this. And that's what she does for a simple investigation because she's got nothing burgers. I honestly think she's just fishing things out of her ass. The idea that Candace thinks she's an investigator is quite hilarious, let alone a journalist.
Yeah.
I guess we shall see.
Now, I have to
this
ask.
is not going to bode very well for her.
I have to ask, when do you wish to go viral? During your investigation or after your investigation?
After, but only after all the true facts have been presented, because I would not want to go viral for doing a half-assed job that makes me look like an arsehat.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, but she is excited. She is excited about going viral. No, just for doing the investigation, it doesn't matter if the findings are bogus. It doesn't matter if they're complete lies. We went viral, and that's good. That's great. I mean, listen to her broken brain. Let's just go ahead and finish this. Oh my God, 10 minutes.
The thing is, Candace Owens is a really bad attention seeker, and she really doesn't care if she's getting good or bad attention, as long as she's getting some attention. She has some serious issues going on. She really does have some serious issues going on. And the thing is, she is saying derogative and demeaning things about innocent people that don't deserve it. And I honestly hope they hold her feet to the fire and she pays, for the consequences of her actions.
To the credible claims that Brigitte Macron was actually born Jean-Michel Trogneux and lived for 30 years as a man before transitioning into a woman. And guess what? Emmanuel Macron, he's mad. You guys, he's big mad about this. Check out this headline coming from the Daily Mail. It says, furious, Emmanuel Macron finally speaks out over claims his wife Brigitte was born a man. He's furious, guys. He's really mad. He's so furious. What is he gonna do? Well, I would suggest he just shows photos from the first 30 years of his wife's life. It really is that simple. So much anger, so many names, so many insults, so many ad hominem attacks. No attempt to just debunk it. So easy, guys. It really is so easy. Now, why does this matter? Some people are asking, why does it matter? I just want to ask those people back, are you insane? Are you a crazy person to ask why something this big would matter? I mean, it would mean that France is being led potentially by a psychopathic liar and a pedophile. Those would be the implications if this was proven to be true. It would also mean that the entire press in France is implicated in trying to cover up this massive lie. Why else does it matter? I don't know. Take a look at a tweet.
Yeah, I mean, she is digging her grave within a minute 37 seconds. I mean, and from what I'm hearing, they gave her every opportunity to recant and take back what she said. They gave her every opportunity.
Yeah, she kind of went past the point of digging 6 foot down. She's like halfway to Australia by now.
Yeah, I mean, she just will not stop. Here we go.
Nope.
That was written from this French national. It translates loosely into the madness is that we French people turned a blind eye in 2017, accepting that a child vampirized by an adult becomes our leader without even worrying about morals and ethics, without even recognizing that this necessarily has a psychotic impact on the guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see who she's reading, but it's transparent. I can't see it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Irwin wants truth.
Oh,
all right. Well,
okay.
Yeah, no, you don't want truth. I'm sorry. Conspiracy theories are not truth. I'm sorry. And anyway, I've told my story as a former conspiracy theorist, but man, this goes beyond. Let's listen to some more, shall we?
The words, it matters a lot. Okay. As I said, it would mean that France, very similar to America, has no press. We all would just have an extension of the government that is pretending to report the news. And this time, the news, I think it's very credible if they actually want to report on it. The story here seems incredibly credible. And I think it's more credible due to the unbelievable level of gaslighting that is going on. Gosh, the entire French press, the mainstream press, attacks me.
So basically, she finds it incredibly credible. And just because she got pushback. Imagine if the French press hadn't said anything. What if they hadn't said a thing about this? What if they had just ignored the story? Then the attack would have been, they would have kept going. They would have said, oh, well, the reason they're not addressing it is because they know it's true and they have no rebuttal. And then when they do address it, what do they say? they say, oh, see, they're gaslighting us by denying it. They're denying it, so they're gaslighting us. Unhinged and these are unserious people.
Conspiracy theory, debunked, far right, transphobe, blah, 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 blah. These magic tricks don't work anymore. You guys, wake up. It doesn't work anymore. We don't care anymore. The people of all of these countries are tired of routinely being called names when you guys have no evidence to the contrary. And maybe the reason that people like me exist, maybe the reason that people like me have a platform is because you guys have lied about absolutely everything. And you just keep getting caught in lies. Example, COVID. You called out that fraud from the beginning, and now everybody's kind of admitting we maybe got it wrong. No. You always knew you had it wrong. You were testing how much power you had internationally when it came to COVID, forcing people to comply with nonsense. Also, BLM, I was immediately questioning where all that money was going. And then I revealed that to be a fraud in an entire documentary. Donald Trump, oh, he's just like Adolf Hitler. That was a lie. Russia, Ukraine, Hunter Biden's laptop. You guys literally cannot stop lying. So what I get to do is actually very simple and it's very fun. My job is actually so easy. All I have to do is not lie and not gaslight the public. When they have a question, I try to answer that question. So let's briefly recap these claims. And you guys, if you don't know what we're talking about, please go back and watch Monday's episode. It's already got.
Did she just literally say that the Republicans don't gaslight the public and that the public doesn't deserve to be gaslit?
Well, she said
because
she
I swear
doesn't.
She does gaslight the public, though.
Yeah,
she
I would like to ask her about
every single second.
Whatever happened to the Freedom Phone? Remember that? She was gonna have a phone that she was gonna have for sale, and it was gonna be an awesome phone. It was gonna be you can get away from the evil empire of corporations, and you can say whatever you want, do whatever you want on these phones, and you'll be okay. It's like where did that concept go? Remember that?
Yeah, I don't think anything ever come of that. I think like I heard her mention it once, and then like I haven't heard about it since. But the fact that she's literally trying to say that she and other Republicans don't gaslight the public is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah.
The Dunning-Kruger.
Yeah, let's listen to the rest of this.
I'm sorry.
And I am so thankful I started speeding this up because I just couldn't take it anymore.
More than 1 million views. People all over the world are paying attention because, as I said, the lies being told in the press right now are an absolute nonsense. But we'll briefly recap it here. Number one, the claim is that Brigitte Macron lived as a man named Jean-Michel or John Michael for 30 years before becoming Brigitte. Here's a side-by-side photo. Instantly very credible. Number two, Brigitte Macron claims that no, Jean-Michel is her brother. Problem is that her brother's missing. Her brother, she claims is alive, we just cannot turn up anywhere. It'd be very easy for her to just go on a little walk and say, here is Jean-Michel. We just happen to look alike, but no, Brigitte Macron refuses to do that. And then in terms of genealogical data, people prowling through the internet and looking, what they have revealed is that a person named Jean-Michel existed for about 30 years and then just stopped existing. And then suddenly Brigitte Macron arrived and existed. So yeah, that's problematic. Number three, there are no photos of Brigitte Macron in the first 30 years of her living. This is the biggest point. Again, as I have demonstrated, it's very easy to show photos of you living for 30 years. In fact, the opposite is happening. The press, in one circumstance, has tried to pass off a photo of her daughter. They just turned it into a black and white photo and said, oh, no, there's Brigitte. A desperate attempt to pretend that Brigitte existed as a child. Here's a side-by-side photo. It is obviously Trefane in this photo. Trefane is the name of her daughter. So that's weird. It's also weird that they're sending the police to threaten people that are covering the story. It's just very bizarre. Number four, the international press could not locate her alleged ex-husband that she allegedly had 3 children with. That's a big deal. Yes, when Emmanuel Macron became president, the international press, nobody was trying to spin a conspiracy theory, just said, wow, this is weird. We can't find her ex-husband. And perhaps even more bizarre is they similarly tried to pass off a fake picture of him as evidence that he existed. Here is the photo that was circulated of him. And that turned out to be a faculty photo from the school that Brigitte taught at, La Providence. The man in that photo is a man named Claude Hugo, a fellow teacher. So what's going on? Brings us to number 5. Well, if these claims are true, ones that should very much be investigated, that would mean that Brigitte Macron is actually 78 years old, 8 years older than she claims to be. Given credence to that claim, by the way, are the various interviews over the years where Brigitte just seems to keep forgetting how old she's supposed to be. For an example, as we brought up, she implausibly said that she was living in the United States during the moon landings of 1969, except that would have made Brigitte 16. Brigitte said she was living alone during the moon landings. No, 16-year-olds are not allowed to live alone in the United States. But if she was 8 years older, if Brigitte was 24, then she very much could have been living alone. So today we are going to build upon something that people don't quite understand. So I want to make it clear for you. The question is, well, how does she have children if she was a
In that entire rambling rant, did you hear any iota of proof, any shred of evidence? I'm sorry, I heard not a thing. I heard not one. I heard a lot of claims, I heard a lot of bullshit, and I heard a lot of their logical fallacies of what? Incredulity, lack of evidence proves my case. Well, you can't do this, so therefore this didn't happen. It's like, okay. I mean, just one batshit crazy conspiracy theory after the other, and she just keeps going on. Well, this couldn't have happened, and that couldn't have happened, so therefore none of it happened. That's her realm of, that is her method of proving her case. And I don't know if her mind has melted or she's just catering to her listener base. Because people that are conspiracy theory, this is their level of evidence. This is what they will accept. They will go to her because they like what she has to say, so therefore anything she says after what I liked before has to be true. She wouldn't lie, would she?
Her brain is both melted and she's doing what she thinks her base want to hear as well. So
yeah. I mean, basically it. Let's hear some more.
Okay.
Man, you can see some resemblance between her and Trephaine, definitely, right? Candace, this just couldn't have happened. This is ridiculous. Well, guys, the claim is that she fathered the children. Again, I'm saying this allegedly, and I'm going to take you through this theory. The claim is that while living as a man, Jean-Michel fathered children. And those are the 3 children that you are seeing today. So we're going to slow that part down. So remember, the international press could not find a single trace of her alleged ex-husband who was...
So I'm assuming that she fathered these children with another woman. Is basically what she's saying. These are not Macron's kids or Emmanuel's. These are hers by another woman. And then she takes the kids as his own because that it's a man, right? That's what she's saying. How? Where's the woman who gave birth to these kids?
All right. I need to
wait.
correct her.
She's got 4 minutes left to sell me. She's got 4 minutes left to prove her claims, and I'm sorry, I haven't heard a single thing. She's just rambling.
She is rambling. I've actually
allegedly a big banker. Just kind of a weird thing when you can't find a big banker. They said that his name was Andre Louis Auxier. That would have been his full name, Andre Louis Auxier. He was listed as the sub-director of the regional delegation of the Banque Française du Commerce Extérieur, so the French Bank of Commerce Exterior in Strasbourg. The only issue is that there is no record of that bank in the banking sector. Oopsies. So as the press began prodding into that matter further, suddenly Brigitte's daughter, Trephaine, announces that he's dead. He died suddenly, you guys. Yep, and she's got all these weird quotations.
So she is claiming that the French press uncovered that they were connected to a fictitious bank. That makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. Let me hear that. I want to hear that again.
Again, I'm saying this allegedly, and I'm going to take you through this theory. The claim is that while living as a man, Jean-Michel fathered children. And those are the 3 children that you are seeing today. So we're going to slow that part down. So remember, the international press could not find a single trace of her alleged ex-husband, who was allegedly a big banker. Just kind of a weird thing when you can't find a big banker. They said that his name was Andre Louis Auxier. That would have been his full name, Andre Louis Auxier. He was listed as the sub-director of the regional delegation of the Banque Française du Commerce Extérieur, so the French Bank of Commerce Exterior in Strasbourg. The only issue is that there is no record of that bank in the banking sector. Oopsies. So as the press began prodding into that matter further, suddenly Brigitte's daughter, Trephaine, announces that he's dead. He died suddenly, you guys. Yep, and she's got all these weird quotations. Speaking to the Paris Match, Trephaine Auxier confirmed her father's passing, saying, quote, "My father died. I buried him on December 24th in the strictest privacy." That's what she told the publication. "I adored him," she wanted to say. "He was a being apart, a nonconformist who valued his anonymity more than anything. He must be respected." That's an interesting way of putting things together, like basically saying, stop, he wanted to be private, don't look into anything. You must respect this dead man, my father. By the way, that very sad if your dad died. Just kind of, I think, strange last words, kind of feels like a warning, a threat almost, not to look any further. The only problem about that quotation is that she apparently got the date wrong. The public record reveals that he died on December 24th. Remember, she said she buried him on December 24th. The record reveals he died then, and then he was cremated on December 28th. Now, again, I just want to state the person that can't even be located is now suddenly dead, and his.
If you're cremated, you can't be located, right? Am I understanding this right? So she misspoke. She meant to say he died on the 24th and was cremated on the 28th. And she said instead, I cremated him on the 24th.
Yeah.
That's your smoking gun. That's your gotcha. Oh, she's definitely lying about everything.
Daughter is.
No, I was just replying no, that she's not lying about everything. Like she's not squeaky clean, but she's not done what Candace said. Like I literally have the information in front of me on my smartphone because Candace Owens apparently is too stupid to use a smartphone.
Smartphones galore and none the wiser for it.
Exactly.
Maybe confusing the dates. Very strange. Now, the only photo that they have ever presented from the alleged wedding between Brigitte, now Brigitte Macron, and her first seemingly non-existent husband is this one, right? You might see this photo circulating around. They say this is a photo. Yeah, no, this photo was actually debunked. It was proven, what they did is they made it bigger, that actually that was a photo of a man named Jean-Louis Ozier with his first wife, Susan Spray. Now you ask the question, why would Jean-Louis Ozier, that is in fact a photo of him and his first wife, not come out and say, hey, that's actually me and my first wife, and the Macrons, Brigitte Macron is using that photo and it's circulating. This is absolute fraud. You also note that he has the same last name as her children and her alleged first husband, Ozier. What's going on here? This seems really weird. Apparently he's somehow related to her non-existent husband. Let's look into this, and I'm going to unpack this very slowly for you. Here is the theory, and again, I want to state that I believe it is credible based on the press reaction and the non-debunking that is taking place. Again, this is just a theory. The theory is that Jean-Louis, that person that you just saw.
So unless the press doesn't address every single batshit crazy point you make, therefore they're lying about it. I mean, this is like trying to debate flat earthers. It's like, no, you're wrong. It doesn't matter.
Of course it is.
It doesn't matter how many scenarios you can concoct in your brain. You're still wrong. And we're not going to debate this any further. We're not going to keep addressing your silly, stupid points. Same thing here. Why is it the press's job to sit and spend time on every single batshit crazy point?
They shouldn't have to.
I mean, why don't you just say she's related to Hitler while you're at it? Oh, well, they didn't debunk that, see? I wonder, that must be true. I mean, you could say anything. Let's continue.
Person pictured in that wedding photo was extremely close with Jean-Michel Charbonneau, now Brigitte Macron, right? Him and Jean-Michel Charbonneau were exceedingly close. In fact, he is a fellow faculty member at the school, La Providence. And also, Jean-Michel fathered children, 3 children, with his niece, a woman named Brigitte Proba Ozier. Quite confusing. Let's slow that down, right? The person whose photo they used, Jean-Louis, has a niece named Brigitte Ozier. I'm showing you guys a photo right here, Brigitte Proba Ozier, who then Jean-Michel, now the First Lady of France, fathered 3 children with. So when then Jean-Michel decided to transition after fathering these 3 children with his niece, Jean-Louis helped his friend because, well, he was basically family, right? Fathered children with my niece, you are basically family. I am going to help you with this transition. And how did he help his friend? Well, it's alleged that Jean-Louis has extremely close ties to the Secret Service of France. So that made it very easy, or at least easier. What they did here is almost a sleight of hand.
How is this helping anybody? This is the worst. This is the worst method of helping and trying to hide and trying to. It's like, why would they hide? If Brigitte was indeed trans, this is France. Why would she need to hide that?
She is not. I've learned some things about the Macrons that I didn't know, and I've learned that through my smartphone by doing a little bit of research. I'm not a professional researcher. I'm not a professional sort of person that looks into people's backgrounds, but I've like found out the truth via using my smartphone in like this last like little hour. And yeah, there is some things I didn't know, but none of what Candace is saying is true. Yes, Brigitte was married before she got together with Emmanuel.
Wait until
Brigitte was
the first polyamorous person gets elected to office.
No, I know.
I mean,
So-
imagine the heads that would explode.
Exactly. So Brigitte, like the only thing that I can see that Brigitte has done is, which not really good. Brigitte was happily married to Andre Lewis. She was like 39 at the time, and she was a teacher at the high school when she met 15-year-old Emmanuel Macron. They had an affair when he was 25. She then divorced Andre, and she married Emmanuel.
Was she a teacher or his teacher specifically?
She was a teacher and he was a student.
At the same school?
He was the classmate of her daughter at the same school.
Ugh. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of
that's-
Ike's. It
it's
is
ki-
kind of
yeah.
Ike's, but they didn't. It's like even though she met him when he was 15, they didn't start having a sexual relationship until he was 25. It's fucking yikes. It is fucking yikes. I can't cover that up. It is fucking yikes.
You know what? If she's 71, Macron, he can't be too far off from his 50s.
Nope.
Could you look that up real quick? How old is Emmanuel Macron? Let's listen to the rest of this goofiness.
Yeah, I will.
Brigitte Proba Ozier,
Yeah.
his niece, and the mother of Jean-Michel Trogneu's children already existed, right? So you have Brigitte already existing. So what they did was they transitioned Jean-Michel with the same name. They made Jean-Michel Brigitte because it makes it more confusing. And then they just created a fake husband, Andre Louis, who never existed, at least according to public record. It's very difficult to find this man. And again, it was a perfect sleight of hand because now they just go, oh, Brigitte Ozier does or did exist. No, that's a niece. He helped out his friend. And the story gets darker and even more twisted. Again, you guys, I am slow walking you through it because they meant for all of this to be confusing. We're not done covering this, right? Because personally, you guys should know this out in France. Me personally, I love a challenge. I love when the media goes all in and starts using words like conspiracy theory and crazy and far right because it's what they've done for years. And the people are waking up to it. Like I said, the magic trick does not work anymore. We are asking you to do a very basic thing here. Show us the photos of the 30 years. If we're so crazy and so conspiratorial, please just show us the photos of Brigitte Macron's upbringing. It would be so simple. In fact, it is crazy that the furious Macron.
They said the same thing about Michelle Obama.
No, exactly, and that was
Show us the
nothing because it
photos.
didn't go
Where's the
anywhere.
photos? Go ahead. What did you find?
So Emmanuel Jean-Michel Frederick Macron was born the 21st of December 1977, so that would put him in his 50s.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
well, Brigitte likes him a little younger. Okay.
But she did, and I know this is not much, and it's still ick. It's very ick, very much ick. But he was 25 before they started having a sexual relationship, which technically he was an adult.
Oh, I misunderstood. Was Emmanuel Macron the 25-year-old student?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was someone else, and then she got with
No.
Emmanuel
No.
after. Okay, I get it now.
No. So she was married to Andre. While she was married, while she was teaching,
Okay,
she
I
met
get
a
it now.
15-year-old Emmanuel. She met a 15-year-old Emmanuel while she was teaching. He was in the same class as her daughter. So after when he was 25, they started having a sexual relationship. It is very
Okay,
fucking ick. But he
so
was considered an adult at 25.
Right, he was in college. She was still a
teacher.
grade school teacher, right?
Yeah.
High school.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's not like she was a teacher at the same school when they met or when they got together.
No, she wasn't. So she was a teacher at the school when they met when he was 15.
15.
She was
I got that
teaching
part.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was not in the school when they started having a sexual relationship.
Correct. Right.
He would
was
have
25.
gone to college or university.
Okay.
She was not teaching him at that time.
Well, that's good. I mean, because there is a power dynamic that
there is.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
The students look to their
Right.
Students look to their teachers to protect them because they're vulnerable, and
even if he was going to college at 25 and she was his teacher, that's still a power dynamic. It's like a boss and the employee. You know what I mean? It is. It's still not good. But this did not happen. Good. So we're okay. Oh my goodness, 24 seconds.
Won't just do that. It's crazy that the press is scrambling to protect this narrative. It is so obviously fraudulent to not do something so basic and so easy that would dissuade all of these rumors. And guess what? Now it's not just a big story happening in France, it's a big story happening in America. There are several journalists that are planning some big exposés into this matter. So be warned, French press. I wouldn't want to be on the side of evil and the side of lies, but who am I to tell you what to do? And that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about Via. Yeah.
So,
wow. Okay, so she is on par with Sandy Hook truthers. Oh. Yeah. Oh, well, where are all the kids? Where are the photos? Nobody actually died in that school. That's basically what she's saying. Where are the photos? Where are the pictures of the dead bodies? Show us. That's exactly the mode of thinking. That is exactly what she is saying, and that is what she is on par with.
Do you know, I think Candace Owens has probably got a really big crush on Brigitte. And she doesn't know how else to explain it.
Well, I don't think so.
I think it's kind of like the boys in primary school that go up pulling girls' ponytails when they like them. And they're really mean to them. I think Candace is projecting.
Yeah, let's hear some more from Batshit.
This is how you know you're getting close to truth. I mean, what a ridiculous reason to take a video down. You can't say the words satanic cults. No, obviously, there is one. That's the only reason why you would say no one can hear this is because there was truth in that. And I will be posting that interview onto.
By the way, my apologies for the bouncing video. I could not keep it centered. I wanted to keep it either up or down, so finally I just started flicking it up and down just to be an ass. But yeah, so obviously there is a satanic cult. Obviously. I mean, that's all you got to say. And the people that believe in satanic cults and their existence, they're going to come flocking. It's the satanic panic all over again. My God, we never learn from history.
X later today, and you can still find that on Spotify, Apple, and here on Rumble. So I advise you listen to it before they try to delete these things off of the internet, because I'm still convinced that the World Economic Forum running that simulation that they did a while ago about what would happen if we had an internet pandemic and they had to force shut down the entire internet, I still think they're going to do that. Just like they predicted the COVID pandemic, I think they're essentially running tests to see what would happen if they brought down the internet so that they could sanitize it, as they said in that simulation. They said, we're going to have to sanitize the internet.
Why don't you
if
ask
there's just a virus that's all over the web,
during the
we, the government, are going to have to take control, just like with COVID, but this time it's going to be on the web. So I really do encourage people to be.
That actually is a very good point. Trump was president during the pandemic.
Yes, he was.
And he was supposed to take care of the deep state. Why didn't Trump take care of the deep state? Why did this simulation carry on? Why is it that all of these deep fakes were able to be carried out under his nose? He must not be a very good president.
I have a very unpopular theory about that. The reason that Trump didn't take care of the deep state during the pandemic was Trump was too worried about getting a UV light stuck up his bum.
Yes, we're going to treat it with lights. We're going to put light spectrum inside the human body.
Yes,
That'll work.
I'm sorry.
That'll take care of it. Moving on.
I'm being unapologetically sort of speaking my mind today. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Conspiracy theorists.
I will tone it down.
Consider that the government is showing you their hand and they're telling you what they want to do because they realize that too many people are waking up to what's happening today. Print things out, buy books, get them into your possession, and make sure that we stay organized, that we have our own websites, that we have our own technology. It's why I'm building my own database. We're going to have to do that, but don't just rely on the internet. Like I said, buy books, get hard copies, photocopies.
If we depend on you to build your own database, we're all fucking
let's
doomed.
think about this. An internet famine, an internet pandemic, where the entire grid goes down. Who would that serve? If the entire internet structure went down, who would that serve? The world would literally collapse. The world would collapse because without the internet, you can't do 90% of businesses. It's done online. You can't exist without the internet. So why would the government, the deep state, why would they go against their own interests by allowing a internet pandemic? An internet pandemic, whatever that means. Does the internet get sick? Does the internet get COVID? What would you call that? What kind of virus would that be? I mean, just the bullshit that comes out of her mouth. It's like,
would that be like a data STD?
I guess. I don't, a database STD, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, she is so ridiculous.
The name of the virus is your mom. Up yours. Yeah, that's the level we're at. I'm sorry. It's just. Oh my God. These people will believe anything. They will believe anything.
Mm-hmm.
No critical thinking whatsoever. When in the history of ever, guess what? Amazon sells bullshit books. I know this because I bought quite a few of them. I've got a whole shelf dedicated to bullshit when I was a former conspiracy theorist. They're not trying to hide. If they're trying to hide and suppress the truth, they're doing a terrible job at it. YouTube, you can find conspiracy theory videos. You can find it all. You can go, my God, you can go on the Wayback Machine and find old, deleted, taken down videos that the government tried to suppress. I mean, I'm sorry. I've got books on, you name it, satanic cults. They did a horrid job from the 70s, 80s, and 90s, no less. They did a terrible job hiding this, did they not? Let's continue.
The things that you need to remember, write them down, go old school. That's really going to be our only guard against what I believe to be a government that fully just wants to wipe out history so that they can just make us live in an ever Orwellian present. This is very scary stuff, and it seems that there is sort of an awakening happening where people are starting to recognize that something more sinister is going on. And of course, a recent example of that was just the Olympics. It does seem that they're trying to almost now indoctrinate the entire world into their satanic faith. And it like I said, it is my belief that this is a synagogue of Satan. Like you mentioned, it is biblical. It mentions this, people who are pretending to be Jews, but are in fact people that worship Satan. And it seems like a very small, incredibly...
Who is pretending to be Jews? I'm confused. Who's pretending to be a Jew but is...
She's gone full Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Are they disguised? Are these fake Jews disguised as Jewish space lasers? I'm just asking questions.
powerful
I
group of
can't.
elites.
Oh, no,
And
fab.
I can trace this through to Australia, to Switzerland, to France, to America, to Canada. And it explains why it is the circumstance that
Remember now,
Look
Candace,
at, I'm
going on
sorry,
Rumble
but look at
doesn't
this.
constitute.
So this video I took is basically embedded. The video was embedded in an article where she says, Candace Owens says, all of these world leaders that we have, even President Zelensky, all seem to be homosexual.
What's wrong with that?
Well,
And so
First
what
of
if they
all-
are?
well, first of all, what's right with it? That claim. It's
There's
like
nothing right with that
you-
claim.
there's only one or two world leaders that I can think of that come to. One of them is in Spain, I think. No. I'm sorry, Ireland. Ireland do they not have a gay prime minister? They're not
Ireland,
called. I don't think he's called a prime minister, is he? Anyway, look that up. You're closer. Anyway, I'm gonna keep playing this video. You're closer to Ireland than I am. Anyway,
all of these
That's
world
still
leaders
pretty
that we
swing.
have, even President Zelensky, all seem to be homosexual. Obviously, their relationships are not real. Emmanuel Macron
I don't
had, when
know.
he got elected, a young man who came out and said that he had slept with Emmanuel Macron. And he said that he was a psychopath, that Emmanuel Macron was a psychopath. Well, in my research, I learned that psychologists were interested in how to create a psychopath. And one thing that they discovered was that if you rape a child, the chances are that they will have psychopathic tendencies when they're older, that they will.
first of all, you don't have to create a psychopath. We've got psychopaths galore. They're called CEOs. You want a good example of a psychopath? Look up our Fortune 500 companies. Look at the CEOs of our healthcare providers, our healthcare insurance providers. How about that? Perfect example of psychopath. Hey, you want to know what psychopaths are? Look at our police force. Look at all the videos of these psycho cops literally yanking people out of their vehicles and beating them within an inch of their life. Right after they turned their GoPro cameras off, and then they beat the guy nearly half to death. How about the psycho cop that made a paralyzed man crawl out of his vehicle? And the reason they pulled them over to begin with was because a license plate light was out. That was the reason for the stop. And they abused everybody in that car. You want an example of a psychopath? Look at Donald Trump. There's an example of a psychopath. No empathy, no emotion other than what gratifies him. Jeffrey Epstein. There you go. A psychopath.
All right, rolling back to your question, I done a little bit of research on my smartphone, and you are correct. It is an MP, which is a prime minister. His name is Simon Harris. He's the prime minister of Ireland, and he is openly gay.
There you go. I mean, we can literally hold these rulers in the palm of our hands. I'm sorry, they're not very many. There's not that many world leaders that are openly gay anyway.
No, exactly. And at the moment, he is trying to legalize same-sex marriage and trying to repeal the ban on abortion. So he seems like a genuine, down-to-earth, nice guy. Why can't we get more MPs like that in Wales?
Yeah, I don't see Candace Owens bringing him up.
Nope.
I mean, we've got Pete Buttigieg, who was in the Biden administration transportation department. Anyway, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
Develop this neurosis and that they will become psychopathic. And this is one of the elements that the French public realized about.
Something about what she said, how to create a psychopath is by repeatedly raping a child. You heard her say that? First of all, there are multiple, hundreds of thousands of people who've been raped by religious leaders. They're not psychopaths.
No.
Hardly any of them became psychopaths. They had PTSD, yes. They've got problems with, in their psyche, but they're not psychopaths. The people that rape them are the psychopaths. You notice how she never talks about the people doing the raping? Not once. She says, oh, the victim. Basically victim blaming. Oh, the victims became the psychopaths. It's the victims. When no, it is literally their abusers. Look at all you want to talk about psychopaths? Go to Russia. The biggest exporter of child porn, bar none. Russia.
Oh yeah.
What about the psychopaths on the battlefield that are brutalizing Ukrainian civilians? Oh, you want to know about psychopaths? Look at all the psychopaths from America that joined the Israeli army, the IDF, and that are abusing children in Gaza. How about the entire IDF? How about Bibi Netanyahu? There's a perfect example of a psychopath. But at least he's not gay, right?
I know you can't get to it at the moment, but when you do, I'm going to put this in the biblical chat. And this dude who is head of one of the UK's largest Christian community cults in the UK. This dude is psycho.
Yeah, of course he's a religious leader. Doesn't surprise me. Let's move on.
To Emmanuel Macron that he seemed to be almost psychopathic and angry when COVID happened. Like Emmanuel Macron liked to inflict pain on the public.
Inflict pain on
the Republicans.
You know who? Yeah, the Republicans. You want to talk about psychopaths? How about people in the United States that refuse to wear a mask? They refuse to isolate. They refuse to social distance. They wouldn't even do the bare minimum to keep their own family members safe and healthy. They couldn't even do the bare minimum. That is psychopathic.
It is. Do you know what else is psychopathic?
You know what else? You know what else? France had lesser numbers than we did per capita. When you put both countries together and examine the rate, we beat almost every other country.
Isn't it? Do you know what else is psychopathic? A little bit of knowledge for Candace Owens. Like, what else is psychopathic is not using the money that is allocated to go towards fixing something and using that money for something else. That is psychopathic.
Yeah, the Kerr County Board. How about the Kerr County, Texas? The Kerr County, Texas, the entire government.
Mm-hmm.
The city council.
Exactly.
You want to talk about psychopaths? Those children that died in Camp Mystic. Every single one of those bodies can be laying at the feet of the city council, who did not take precautions, they didn't even do the goddamnedest bare minimum.
Exactly. They should be held accountable for that.
Why are we looking at France? Why are we looking at psychopaths in France when we got enough of them right here in this country? And someone who can get in front of their camera and lie like she does.
Because they're trying to
And
distract
doesn't
us from
care.
what's going
Doesn't
on.
care. Who cares
No,
if
she
who it
doesn't.
hurts?
That's the thing.
Doesn't
Candace
matter.
Owens doesn't care.
Let's play the
The
last
rest of them
clip.
don't care.
A very long rap sheet. I'm only reading you a few here, but you get it. Gosh, once again, we have a guy who, and this time he's just complicit in child exploitation, pedophilia, and human trafficking. They love to stick that on men who are a threat to them, right? Who are a threat to the establishment. When we say the establishment, we're talking about the deep state. And when we say the deep state, what we're referring to is a gang, okay? Write your stupid little headlines about Candace Owens. Oh my God, he's just implying that there's a gang. It is obvious that there is a gang, a very big gang. Actually, it's really not that big, but they've amassed quite a bit of power, that there is a global elite operating in Western society, okay? And you can see this. Their demands are as such. You either play ball with them, we are the state, okay? Or we will take you down. And remarkably, their strategy, which is so tried and true, is that they will accuse you of exactly what it is that they are doing. I mean, the audacity of referring to Pavel Durov as someone who is complicit in abetting pedophilia. That's what they said. That's what the French Secret Service, the French state would like us to believe.
I've heard enough. I don't want to hear another
Me
sound.
too.
I don't want to hear another word come out of her trap. So here's where we're going from here. Here's where we're going. The Macrons have come to Delaware and have filed a 219-page complaint and lawsuit against Candace Owens.
Good.
They're going to take her to court. Like I said, it may not hurt her financially because we have enough morons in this country that complain about the cost of living. They complain about the cost of groceries and gas and everything, and they've got hundreds and thousands of dollars to spend on fascists and liars and grifters. Hell, look at all of the people that bought into Donald Trump's NFT and Bitcoin scams. Look at all the people that bought his merchandise. Look at all the people that sent him money. There were people on a fixed income accidentally signed up for reoccurring charges, and before they knew it, their entire savings was gone. They thought it was like a one-time gift to Donald Trump, but there was this one little box you had to find all the way at the bottom to uncheck it to make sure that it wasn't reoccurring charges. People have lost their homes for the Trumps. People have lost their livelihoods. They've lost property. They've mortgaged out there. They put 2 and 3. It's like, man, they refinanced their home 3-4 times just to be able to send more money to the Trumps. Remember the billionaire? Remember the billionaire who said, "Don't worry, you don't have to send me a penny. I'm rich. I'm a billionaire. I financed my entire campaign. You don't have to send me any money." And guess what? He's begging for money. Begging for money. Well, he's sitting pretty now.
I've just had a thought. So I need to take back. Maybe Candace doesn't have a crush on Brigitte after. Maybe Candace is projecting her anger on Brigitte, probably because her husband is from England. So
no, I think it's easier said this way. She hates trans people, and she's found that she can monetize this hatred. So when you talk about transvestigation, this conspiracy black hole that they go into to, this person, anybody who doesn't look feminine to me, anybody who doesn't look feminine enough is therefore a trans man. That's how these people think. If I'm not sexually turned on by them, they must be trans. They must be a man disguised. And I tell you what, so many people, so many women have been verbally and physically attacked just by going into the washroom, and because they were not feminine presenting enough, they've been abused, they've been assaulted.
It's disgusting.
A few people have been put in the hospital because of this shit.
Well,
this is what transvestigations. This is where it leads. This is where it leads.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it. I think Candace Owens is a fascist, racist, transphobic.
Well, she's definitely self-hating. Have you know when she
is.
When she
That's
started
what I
out
mean.
in the right-wing MAGA manosphere, when she first started out, she always attacked black, and she attacked feminism.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And
that's what I
now
mean by racist,
she's completely,
because she's self-hating.
Yeah, she hates herself, and if given the chance, she'd change the color of her skin just like that. She would.
I'm gonna say a word. I am gonna say a word that I rarely say, and I only say
truthful
for people. I honestly think Candace Owens is a cunt. I'm sorry.
have to second that. Unfortunately, I can't fully agree with that because she lacks depth and
It's
warmth.
derog. Exactly. I was going to say that as well.
It would be an aspersion.
Insulting.
It would be a insult.
It is. It is.
The cunts everywhere. Anyway. Sorry. Anyway, moving on. You can find us on Facebook, Blue Sky, X. We like to say Twitter still. You can find us on Blue Sky. You can find us on Substack. You can find us on Threads. And who knows? We might be moving to Neptune. I'm hearing that they're finally ready to launch.
Oh, and if you guys
Probably
are brave enough, come follow us on Rumble.
So. One more time?
I said if they're brave enough, they can come follow us on Rumble.
Rumble, yeah. I have to start uploading to Rumble again. Ugh. I have to. Anyway, moving on. Thank you so much for joining us at the Skeptically Speaking show. We look forward to seeing you all on the next video. Don't be a stranger.
Yeah.
Y'all come back and see us now, you hear?
Yeah. Please like, subscribe, comment. Love you guys.